I wanted a baby girl so bad that before I went to bed every night, I prayed for her. And I asked the Lord to bless me with a child, and He did, and I got my daughter. A year ago, my whole life shattered because I've been thinking that her dad has molested her. My daughter's been touching herself sexually and doing things that I'm not understanding where it's coming from because I don't show her things like that. And I want answers today. So one day I walked into the room and she was on his lap and I took my daughter from him and I told him that it looked like he was a wreck to me. So from that day on, I told him that he couldn't give her a bath, he couldn't hug her, he couldn't touch her, he couldn't kiss her. I didn't want her around him. And every time that he would go to try to change her diaper, she would fight him and kick and scream, and I don't understand it. So I'm asking him, have you touched my daughter? Did you hit her? Did you do anything to her? And he keeps telling me no. And when I got with my boyfriend 6 years ago, he admitted to me that he was molested by one of his family members, so I think of that as well. Because of this whole situation, I don't know whether I should still love him or not. I'm worried that this could be the end of the relationship. But at this point, I really don't care because my daughter is more important. And I would feel very bad if I allowed someone to do this to her. My gut is telling me that he did this, but on the other hand, I don't know because I had a family member get molested by somebody that I trusted. So could I just be paranoid? I don't know. I'm very confused and I want to know the truth.
You know the deal.
I didn't molest my daughter. There's no way in hell I would molest my daughter. I know what it is to be molested. Why would I sit up there and put my 2-year-old daughter, from the time that she was born, I seen her and I was just like happy. That was the happiest moment of my life. Why would I sit up there and do something like that so cruel to my doggone daughter? It hurts me for these accusations becoming my way. I can't stand it. You have no idea how this is making me feel to sit up there and keep dealing with all this for a straight 2 years and be sleeping on the floor and have this burden on me. You know, I've been molested myself, not only from my family members. There was a guy that sat up there and hit me and beat me with a plunger handle. So I know for what it feels like. And I wouldn't put my worst enemy through nothing like that, not even my child. That's what I've been, it just aches me. It was like everything just flipped. Everything flipped, and I couldn't believe it. It was like she told me one day she was out and she went shopping and left me with my daughter by herself, and she just came home and our daughter was crying uncontrollably, and she asked me, have you touched our daughter? I said, no. I said, are you crazy?
And because the baby was crying, she asked you that?
Yeah, she was crying uncontrollably. But I said, are you crazy? I ain't touched my daughter. I said, you need to stop watching all that Steve. You know, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. You know, it's just, I mean, like, I try to embrace my daughter.
I mean, it is an odd reaction that here you guys have been together for a long time.
Yes.
You planned the baby.
And prayed for her.
She dreamed about having a girl. She gets the girl. She leaves for a little while. The baby's crying uncontrollably, which a lot of babies do, right?
Yes, yes.
And her first reaction is, did you touch the baby?
Yes.
That's a strange reaction, don't you think?
Yeah, automatically you're going to point the finger and say, I touched her just because she was gone.
Do you feel like, and first of all, when you're a victim of this, as you say you were, it does change you, and it affects you probably for the rest of your life. Do you regret like maybe you opened up to her with that?
Well, what happened was she told me about her family, what happened to her family. And I came up and I was like, okay, look, I'm gonna confess to you my deepest, darkest secret. And nobody else knows this. Well, now they do, but that I've been touched. I've been touched that way. But that don't mean that I'm gonna sit up there and put this type of thing on my dog, on my little child. I would never do that, ever. She sat up there and she stopped me from holding her. She stopped me from kissing her. She stopped me from changing her diaper. And
You can't touch your daughter.
No, I can't touch her.
Do you really believe that he did this to your daughter?
Yes,
that he,
I do.
Why would you say that? Why would you keep me there? I mean, like, I'm a man. I can survive.
What do you believe he did?
I believe he touched her.
He touched her.
I ain't touched nobody.
He touched her
I
in
wouldn't
an appropriate
even-
manner.
I wouldn't even touch no doggone
She
kids at
wasn't
all.
acting sexual like this. If she come to me and say her cuckoo hurt, she wasn't doing that before.
Okay, the guy's been sleeping on the floor for a year.
Sleeping on the floor for a year.
At any point did you say, yeah, you can come up and sleep in the bed?
No, I've been sitting up there sniffing dust for the whole year. Like I'm a vacuum cleaner. Waking up with lint on my tongue and all that.
If he fails this test, what would happen?
He gonna get arrested.
He's going to get arrested. And if he passes the test,
I apologize.
Where you going?
don't you want to hear his result? I would think that this is the moment that you're waiting for.
Yeah, I'm just.
I mean, it's got to take a lot for him to stand on that stage. And like he said, millions of people are going to see this. He's being accused of molesting his own child. And I just find it strange that you would walk off the stage the moment you're about to find out if he did this or not. Are you scared or?
Yeah, I just hope he passed.
You just what?
Hope he passed.
You just hope he passes. Well, are you ready to find out the truth? Let's go. Hi, Marcus, you came here because you've been accused of sexually molesting your daughter. And this has torn the two of you apart, and you say you haven't even had a chance to be a father because of these accusations. And they gotta be hard accusations to live with, especially when their family and neighborhood knows about it and everybody looks at you a certain way. Well, you came here today and you took the lie detector test.
Yes.
And we asked you, have you ever sexually molested your 2-year-old daughter? Have you ever sexually molested your 2-year-old daughter? You answered no. And living on the shoulder for 2 years, the results came back, and the results are you told the truth.
Man. Ain't no way in the world I still didn't touch her, man. No way, man. You don't know how much she means to me.
Sorry.
And that hurt me deep.
I'm sorry.
I've been living with this for 2 years. For 2 years. Not even getting close to her. And you took all that away from me.
I'm sorry.
You just sit up there and you in my gut, man. You should know me.
But that's how I
You
really
know,
feel.
your feelings ain't always right. Your feelings ain't always right.
I certainly hope for Marcus's sake that you guys can repair your relationship. And I certainly, and I'm not being facetious, I hope you let him back into bed.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I sympathize with you so much. To be accused of this and not doing it and having to live with this as long as you have, you waited too long to call. I hope now that you can repair your relationship, let him be a good dad, and I hope you guys can be happy together again.
Yeah.
Good luck, too.
I was raped.
My name is Steve Wilkos, and I'm an investigative talk show host with a law enforcement background.
It was my life or his.
My job is to get truth and justice for everyday people. Watch our videos now.